Welcome to this video, to a new year, and to a new watch. I decided to start this year with a new acquisition. Actually, I bought the watch already in December 2020. And this watch is a Seiko 5 with a 7009 movement, and according to the serial number it was produced in 1989, in March of 1989 if I'm correct. I bought the watch because I wanted this specific dial. I've seen this dial probably a year ago for the first time, and as I will tell you in a different video, 2020 was a little bit rough in terms of watches, and I lost interest for some time. Watches were not really important during 2020 to me. You maybe have seen that halfway through the year I stopped posting on Instagram, and that not very much moved on the YouTube channel. So for 2021 I wanted to come back to that a little bit, and I want to commemorate that with a new watch. And as I said, I like the dial because it has kind of a tactile character to it. It's a little bit like a military watch, or at least like for me, it's kind of a style of an explorer. As long as I can think, I always wanted a 16570 Rolex Explorer 2, you know, the Polar Explorer. And I never bought the watch because, frankly, it is too big for my wrist. So even if I could afford it, I'd probably not enjoy wearing it because it's quite huge. I had it on my wrist, but it doesn't fit me. But I fell in love with white or kind of white-ish dials, and I always looked for a watch that had kind of a white dial, and I found pretty much what I was looking for in this dial and hand configuration. So that's the reason why I bought the watch. It's pretty beaten up. It's had a hard life. As I said, it was manufactured in 1989, and you know, the movement is pretty beaten. You can hear it. The self-winding mechanism is pretty rough. Just to give you an idea, the rotor, as you can see in the video, is pretty wonky, but it keeps very good time, and it appears to have been serviced. Yeah, I bought the watch on eBay. I bought the watch in India, and the watch was so cheap that I said, well, what the heck, I'm just going to buy it. If I lose all my money and I never get the watch, or the watch will be broken, so be it. I'll be either able to fix it, or yeah. Well, I was willing to write it off as a complete loss, and I took my chances with it. And it arrived, and it is in very good condition, and I've been wearing it. The self-winding mechanism is not really efficient at the moment. I don't know if that's a thing of 7009 movements or if it's just this watch. At some point I'm going to take it apart and service it and look at the parts and replace the rotor and stuff. But so far I'm very happy, and in the video you can see some impressions of the watch. As far as I know, or as far as I've seen this dial configuration, there's also a black version of this one. They don't come with the chrome frame around the month or date window. So the dial seems to be original, hand also kind of seems to be original. Obviously Seikos are sometimes a little bit different from each other. What certainly is not correct, and you can see that clearly in the picture, is the glass, because that doesn't really fit the watch. It's too thin. It doesn't close with the upper side of the bezel, and is about, well, I would say half a millimeter or a third of a millimeter too thin, and so there's kind of an edge. It seems to be glass. I will leave it in there for the moment. I really actually like this one. This is one of the first things that ignited that passion again. So I realized that I have to go back to more basic stuff, basic watches. And this is something that I was looking for. Something really beaten up, something telling a story. This watch was obviously on a wrist for a very, very long time and was severely used. And you know, it's not a miracle, but it's astonishing to me that this watch still keeps that good of a time. Yeah, I've been wearing this one and I enjoy it a lot more, and for some reason this is something that I missed in 2020. In 2020 I was wearing some of my more, well, they're not really expensive in the grand scheme of watches, but some of my more expensive things, the IWC, the Omega, and the Rolex mainly. Yeah, goals for 2021. Simplify the collection, clean it up a little bit, get some more interesting pieces. And I also realized that probably I enjoy working on watches a lot more than actually wearing them. because you can only wear so many watches, and the Rolex is really just so important. And yeah, I mean, they're great watches. No question, but I think these, in my opinion, these are much more interesting than some high-end polished thing that wants to portray something to other people. And I will enjoy these little treasures a lot more than the big stuff, frankly. So I'll keep you updated. There will probably be a project video on this one, a refurbishment video. And yeah, thank you for watching. There are already 2 more videos in the pipeline. The next video is probably going to be the Arsa Value 23/72C restoration video. So far, thank you for watching this video. If you have any more information or any more questions about this watch, write it down in the comments. I will be engaged in the comments a lot more. If you want, we can talk about this watch. So thank you, and I see you in the next video.